Good morning to you all, my lovely students. It's yet another interesting teaching for today. I am Hayewole Alaba Adepeju. I'm so glad to be here, and I know you are all glad to see me from your various homes. Today, we shall be treating a very interesting topic, which is sexually transmitted infection. But firstly, let me take you back to our previous topic. Last week, we discussed about microorganisms. We all know that microorganisms are tiny organisms that cannot be seen with the naked eye, except with the use of a microscope. We also talk about how microorganisms can be cultured. And remember, I told you microorganisms is everywhere. In our house, in our kitchen, our bedroom, our school, everywhere. On the surface of our skin, our mouth, our fingers, microorganisms are everywhere. Also, we talk about how we can prevent and control the spread of microorganisms. I believe you have all read your notes, you have done the assignment, and you have submitted all of them online. Today, we shall be seeing our fourth topic for this term, which is sexually transmitted infections, STIs. But before then, let's see the learning objective for today. At the end of this lesson, students should be able to define sexually transmitted infection. You should be able to state their mode of entry, that is, how we get infected. Also, you must be able to list the signs and symptoms. How do you know that you are infected with a particular infection sexually? Then lastly, you must be able to mention ways of which we can prevent, control, and treat these sexually transmitted infections. What is sexually transmitted infections? They are the infections that human beings contract through having unprotected sexual intercourse with an infected person. They are also called venereal diseases. These diseases are caused by viruses, including some bacteria. One of them is HIV, which we all know to be human immunovirus, and HPV, which we call human papilloma viruses, while others, or those that are caused by bacteria, include gonorrhea, syphilis, and the rest of them. Let's take them one after the other. First, gonorrhea. Gonorrhea is a bacterium disease that is caused by a bacterium known as Neisseria gonorrhea. Its mode of entry is through direct sensual intercourse with an infected person. That is, once we have sexual relationship with an infected person, that is somebody, whether a boy, a girl, or a man or woman that has been infected with gonorrhea, automatically the infection has been transmitted to you. What are the signs and symptoms? Firstly, you will notice pain and burning sensation, especially when you want to urinate. This will follow by itching around your vagina or the penis area, the one we all refer to as genitals. Sometimes you can see thick, creamy discharge from the tip of penis or vagina days after sexual intercourse with an infected person. What I mean to say is gonorrhea is caused by Neisseria gonorrhea. Once you have a direct sexual intercourse with somebody that is infected, automatically you are infected. Like I said earlier on, you see pain and burning sensation, especially when you want to urinate. There will be discharge from your vagina or penis after 7 days of sexual intercourse with an infected person. What are the effects of gonorrhea? One, it can lead to sterility in both male and female. What do I mean by sterility? It will be difficult for that man or that woman that has been infected with gonorrhea to have children of his or her own, especially if this case is not treated immediately and appropriately. It can also lead to blindness of a child during birth through the infected mother's vagina. How do we now control and prevent gonorrhea? One, you must avoid sexual intercourse or relationship with an infected person, which you might not know because it's not written on the forehead. So the best way to prevent is don't have sexual intercourse or don't have multiple partners. I mean, if you are not of age, but as it is now for your age, you don't even need to have any sexual relationship with anybody because you are still teenagers. Secondly, the use of condom. Thirdly, you can treat it with penicillin, tetracycline, and above all, avoid multiple sexual partners, like I said earlier on. Let's take a look at another sexually transmitted disease, which is syphilis. Syphilis is also caused by a bacterium called Treponema pallidum. It enters the host or the body through direct sexual intercourse with an infected person. It can also be inherited in unborn children through their infected mother. Yes, these diseases can be transmitted from mother to their unborn babies during pregnancy, nursing, or breastfeeding. What are the symptoms of syphilis? One, painless sore in the genital area, that is, in your private area, the private part, there will be painless sore. The sores there will not be very painful. The mouth and sore, before you know it, you will develop mouth and throat sore. You'll be having severe headache, especially at night. There will be pains in your joints and your bones. Then this will result to itching and rashes of your hands and feet. These are the symptoms of syphilis. How do we control, prevent, and treat syphilis? One, avoid sexual partner with an infected person. Use condom and treat with penicillin and tetracycline. Like I said earlier on, you might not know that somebody is carrying any of these diseases. So the best way to prevent the spread of sexually transmitted infection is to abstain, especially for your age, from any sexual activities with the opposite sex, either boy or a girl. Thirdly, let's see AIDS, acquired immune deficiency syndrome. It is caused by an organism called human immune deficiency virus. How does it enter into the host? This one too is through direct sexual intercourse with an infected person. It can also be gotten through transfusion with infected blood. Somebody is in the hospital, very ill, and needs blood. If that blood is not properly tested and screened, it might have or contain virus from an infected person, like maybe an AIDS patient. Once this type of blood is given to somebody, automatically, 100%, that person is also a carrier of AIDS. You can also get infected through using infected cutting instruments like the razor, the needle, and knife. And that is why we always advise you not to share sharp objects with anybody, even with your siblings, your parents. No, you are not supposed to share blade, especially because most of us use this razor blade to cut our fingernails. You will not know whether your friend you are borrowing or you are giving is infected with any form of infection or diseases. What are the symptoms of AIDS? Fever, persistent cough, weight loss, pain, itchy skin rashes, chronic diarrhea, and a sunken cheeks. Before you know it, your cheeks will sunk up. Nothing will be very flat. These are the symptoms of HIV AIDS. How do we control, prevent, and treat acquired immune deficiency syndrome? One, avoid indiscriminate sexual relationship with anybody, whether infected or not. The use of sterilized injections, syringes, especially in the hospital, And also instruments used for both male and female circumcision, for ear piercing or opening. All instruments must be sterilized, and also avoid blood contact from an infected person. Like I've been saying, you will not know whether somebody is infected or not. So the best way is not to have any sexual relationship with anybody except when you are married with your spouse. Don't share sharp objects. Avoid blood contact with anybody because you wouldn't know whether they are infected or not. Now let's discuss about human papilloma virus. Its causative agent is a double-stranded DNA virus. Its mode of entry is through direct sexual contact with an infected person also. It can also be transmitted by mother to a baby during pregnancy, labor, or nursing. What are the symptoms of HPV? On the genital areas or surrounding skin. What is like a skin irritation, usually seen around our private parts. Once you have it or you notice it, please, I will advise you to visit a hospital so that the medical doctor can have a cross-examination on you. Though it might not be due to HPV, but once you see it, especially I will advise the females, this HPV is responsible for the vaginal cancer seen in female, both young girls and adults. That is why it is recommended that you take a recommended dose. It is in 3 shots. Once you are 11, you can take that vaccine. This will prevent you throughout your lifetime from human papilloma virus. How do we control, prevent, and treat HPV? Avoid indiscriminate sexual relationship, removing the warts and getting vaccinated. Like I said, you remove the fast and get vaccinated against HCP so you can be prevented throughout your lifetime. The number one way of preventing or controlling all these sexually transmitted infections, either gonorrhea, syphilis, HIV, AIDS, or HPV, is to stay clear, stay away from any sexual relationship with anybody, except when you are married with your husband or with your wife. Don't have multiple sex partners. That is when you are married, because you are all still teenagers. You are not supposed to be involved in any form of sexual activities at your age. With this, we've come to the end of the 4th week topic for this term. Like I said earlier on, stay clear, stay safe. See you in our next class. But before then, please, I would like you to read up the comprehensive notes on the school website. Lay your hands on the recommended text, Excellence in Biology for Senior Secondary School, Book 1 by F. Fakeye, and also Essential Biology for Senior Secondary School by MC Michael. See you soon in our next class. I love you, and I want you to know that I miss you all. Bye. See you next class.